Hi-all. So we were having this conversation yesterday, and I said, hold that thought, I said, because we need to make a video about this. I wanted to share it, I wanted to discuss it with you folks, in front of you and for you.
It was a very, very heated argument.
It wasn't heated, it was just a philosophical, it was an impasse.
I was making a bunch of very good points.
Which is why I said. So here was the deal. CM Punk's promo, loved it. We both loved it.
Absolutely loved it.
In fact, we sat there watching it, going like this.
Oh, we loved it. I mean, there's no other way you can explain it. It was absolute brilliance.
And everything he said, it spawned a new. Did he really say that?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway. So we enjoyed it, and we were talking about the whole CM Punk issue and the fact that he could go away, blah blah blah. And I came to my thesis, which is,
and this is where we differ completely.
There is one thing, and one thing only, that stops CM Punk from being the biggest thing in the company. One thing, and he can't control it. It's the fact that he doesn't have he's not a muscle man. He's not tall, he's not, overtly muscular. Those are the kinds of people Vince pushes. He likes them, they say. Why does he like them? I say he likes them because that's what works, because that's what garners a reaction from people. That a big, muscular gent is, a hero, is the ideal that we all strive to be. Those of us tiny, lanky gentlemen. And then, of course, big, muscular jerks are the kind of people that we want to get out of here, because they're jerks.
I'm sorry, I've got.
So what is your take on?
Here's my take on the whole thing. First of all, let's start with what Punk said. Basically, Punk said what I would argue a good majority of people are thinking, whether they be people that work for the WWE or fans like us. Because I know exactly, while we were sitting there listening to it, we were thinking, oh my God, this is exactly how we feel as fans. We're irritated because you've got this guy like John Cena who, in my opinion, I'm sorry, he's probably a bit of an A-kisser, excuse me.
Oh.
A-kisser.
I disagree with that.
No, let me finish.
You're not, I want to get this point.
No, go ahead, make your point.
I don't think he has to kiss A, because I think he gets everything he wants. Because he is the complete package.
Well, again, but this goes back to...
It's just handed to him on a silver platter.
My entire point, okay?
Yeah.
John Cena has basically played the same exact character for, let's say 5 years, at least 5 years. The same exact character. And it's been getting stale for a long time. You can say whatever you want to the contrary. I'm sorry. Yes, he's entertaining to listen to sometimes. In my opinion, the majority of the time, it's just monotonous and just a little too over the top. He is still pretty bad in the ring. Okay, he's not a good wrestler. He's just not. The thing that he has going for him is, it's like Scott said, he's got this big build, which is what Vince McMahon likes. The problem that I have with the whole thing is, I will say it, till the day I die, if you will. The reason why John Cena is the favorite is because he's the one that Vince pushed so far down everybody's throats and shoved in everybody's face. It could have just as easily been anybody else, So that whole, big, no, I'm sorry. That whole big, burly guy thing, I just don't agree with, because the best wrestlers have always been the smaller people. I mean, look at Shawn Michaels, look at Bret Hart, look at CM Punk, Chris Jericho. They're not big, burly men. I mean, John Cena's not very good. Batista wasn't very good. Hulk Hogan is not very good.
Okay. But this brings us to the bigger picture, which is wrestling is not just about what happens in the ring.
No, it's okay. No, it's not. No, it's not. Absolutely, I agree with you 100%. It's not just about what happens in the ring. It's about the person and the charisma and the character they play. Who is the best character on the show? I think he showed it Monday night. Who is the best character on the show? And he made a lot of valid points, because the best people on the stick or in the ring aren't always the ones that are pushed to the top because they don't weigh 300 pounds, and have biceps, 50 inches around,
But the people who It doesn't... Okay, I think there's this balance of you get a push because you get a reaction. And so the two are going to, obviously,
yes,
the push,
okay, no, wait.
the reaction will come when the push grows.
But the reason they get these reactions is because Vince McMahon makes them so, okay? Vince McMahon is the one that creates these characters. I mean, he created Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan is who he is today because of Vince McMahon. And I think he's shown the person that he really is since he left the WWE because he's a bit of a dick, if you will. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, but even he was wise enough to realize I've been playing the same character for about, a decade. I need to do something new because it's getting stale. And what happened when he turned heel in the NWO? People went nuts, people were so angry, but it got ratings. And it's the reason why the WCW took over for so many years.
Okay, first and foremost, I think that the heel turn, Hogan's heel turn, was a business decision on the part of Eric Bischoff. And he was able to...
But it was a wise decision, Yeah. Bischoff was able to step up and say, okay, you've been playing the same character for so long. It's the last thing people are going to expect if we turn you into a heel. Well, let's do it. Let's pull the trigger on it, okay?
But
now, John Cena should be saying to himself right now, yeah, I'm always on top. I'm, Superman, if you will. But even he's got to be getting a little tired of doing that. And he needs to have the stones to say to Vince, hey, Vince, can I do something a little different? Vince is not going to fire John Cena if John Cena goes to him and asks if he can do something new.
But Vince is going to he's going to lose some money when people get mad at John Cena.
And he will just as quickly gain it back if he gives somebody else a shot. He can do it again.
Not necessarily.
He did it with Hulk Hogan. He did it with Stone Cold Steve Austin. He did it with The Rock. He did it with Bret Hart. He's done it with John Cena. He can do it with anybody that he wants. It's not a deal breaker if you turn John Cena into a new character. It's not.
Correct, but the question is...
I mean, you've got to look at the bigger picture because, yeah, you'll lose money in merchandising and maybe marketing to a certain degree, but he's been steadily losing pay-per-view sales. He's been steadily losing ticket sales in arenas, in all the shows. Ratings are still going down. These are things that you've got to play into and you've got to factor into it.
But you can't blame John Cena playing the same character. Because, again, Hulk Hogan...
But you have
such a huge
you have to
champion
blame
for
Cena to a certain degree because Cena is the man on top. Cena is the man running the show from the show standpoint, okay? And he should say to himself, okay, am I running this thing into the ground playing the character that I'm playing? Am I? He's got to look at it that way.
No, he has
a certain level of responsibility to say, okay, this is getting kind of stale. It's getting somewhat boring. Let's do something new.